Hi, third grade parents. Welcome to the first lesson in the Bat Cave. Today we are going to be reading the great illustrated classics, The Wind in the Willows. This is an adapted novel by Kenneth Grahame. Pro tip for parents, I really love great illustrated classics because every page has a picture of what's going on in the story. So the kids can discuss what they're seeing in the story and where it's being supported in textual evidence. That's the big thing we're working on in third grade right now, is that when we read something, we're not just reading and imagining a story, but when people ask us questions such as, what in the story made you think that this person was actually the frog? If they didn't have his name saying, I'm Jim the Frog, and it just said, I'm Jim, how do you know he was that character? And the students can go back into the text and find the answer for it and support that answer with text. So we're kind of teaching students the purpose to reading and why we read. Why is it important to read? So today I'm going to read the first few pages of The Wind in the Willows, but I'm going to read the page and then I'm going to stop, ask a question, and then show the picture. That way students can pause and think about what they heard, and you guys can talk about, do you think that was in the story? What else did you think was in the story that could also be an answer to that question? All right, get comfortable, guys. We're going to start reading the first couple of pages. Chapter 1, Riverbank Friends. When we read third grade friends, remember we always want to read our chapter part here to know where we're at in the book. And we also want to read the name of the chapter, which will tell us the topic or the main idea of what the whole chapter is about. Let's go! Mole had been working very hard all morning, doing spring cleaning in his little home beneath a large meadow. He had been working with brooms and dusters and a pail of whitewash, when his aching back and weary arms couldn't lift the whitewash brush one more time. He flung it down and shouted out, "That's it! Hang spring cleaning!" He rushed out his little door into the steep tunnel, scratching and scraping with his paws until his snout reached the bright sunlight in the meadow. So friends, this first one, I want to find out what you think. What type of behaviors does a mole have? Think about some of the text that we read. Did you think of some of the things you know about a mole already, friends? Such as moles are underground animals, and it's common for them to live in a dirt home? Did you? That's what I thought when I read about it. I'm going to show you the first picture that goes along with our story. Let's move on to the next page. The warm breezes and the happy songs of the birds welcomed him as he ran along on all fours. "I'm free," he cried. "No more work for me. Let the birds work building their nests. Let the flowers work making buds. Not me. It's time for me to have fun." Mole's happy wanderings took him to the edge of gurgling, flowing rivers, the first he had ever seen. "What a strange animal this is," he said. "It grips things and carries them along, only to fling them aside and catch something else, all while it's sparkling and chattering and bubbling." He ran alongside the river until he had tired himself out. Then he sat down on the bank and listened to the babbling stories the river seemed to be telling him. And what's that, he wondered as he spotted a dark hole above the water on the opposite side of the river. It looks like a perfect home for any animal who enjoys peaceful waterfront property. So friends, I want you to take a minute to think about and make a prediction about what this next animal could be that would be in the story. Who would want a waterfront home in a river? Okay, friends, I'm going to make a guess for my prediction, and I'm going to say it's a hermit crab, because a hermit crab could live in a river. So we'll see if it is a hermit crab. I used my knowledge of different animals that I thought could live in the water or around the river. Did you? Also, here's our picture that goes along with this part of the story. Soon, something bright and twinkly winked at him from the hole. It was an eye, followed by the rest of the little brown face, small, neat ears, and thick, silky hair and whiskers. It was the water rat. The two animals looked cautiously at each other across the river. Then the water rat called out, "Hello, Mole! Would you like to come over?" "How do you expect me to do that? I'm not a water animal, so I don't swim." Rat chuckled as he untied a rope and pulled on it until a small blue boat appeared from behind some bushes. Since Mole was new to the river, he had no idea what a boat was or what it was used for. Rat rowed quickly across the river and held up his front paw to Mole, who eagerly stepped in and sat down. "This is my very first time in a boat," said Mole happily, as Rat shoved off and began to row again. "It's so nice." So, friends, were you a little confused about the river rat too? I was. I think this was our author's way of writing a fictional text. And what do we know about fiction? Sometimes things are in it that aren't exactly true. It's all up to the author's imagination. Are you ready to learn more about what the water rat and our friend Mole are up to? Here's the picture. It's absolutely the only thing to be doing on a day like this. It doesn't matter whether you're going somewhere or nowhere, whether you're doing something or nothing. If you're doing it in a boat, it's the best time ever. Say, if you've got nothing to do for the rest of the day, we could row down the river together. Mole leaned back against the soft cushions and smiled dreamily. "That sounds wonderful," he said. "Let's start at once." "We will in just a minute. First, I have to stop at my house," said Rat, as he tied the boat up to a little dock and disappeared into his hole. A moment later, he came out, staggering under the weight of a heavy wicker lunch basket. "Shove it under your feet," he said to Mole, as he jumped back into the boat and took up the oars again. "What's inside?" "Cold chicken and cold tongue, cold ham, cold beef, pickle, pickleless, salad, French roll, ginger ale." I wonder if they're going to enjoy their lunch or not, friends. But here's the picture that goes along with this story. This is all the time that we have today for our reading, friends. But I want you to think about and post in the comments, or write a story and draw a picture that goes with it. What would you do in a boat? Would you like the water? Why or why not? I look forward to hearing, friends, about whether or not you enjoy being in a boat. And we'll make a connection with our character when we continue on our story in our next video lesson. Thanks for watching, everybody!